Hey there, welcome to my desktop. I'm using the Mac operating system here. So these instructions that I go over in this lesson on how to download and install Java as well as Elasticsearch are only going to pertain to the Mac operating system users. If you're a Windows user or some other operating system, I've provided instructions in a document as part of this course, so make sure you take a look at that. So let's get started. Here's the terminal window in which we're going to be typing some commands. Don't get intimidated by this if you're new to the terminal. Some commands you may be familiar with, some of them you might not. You don't need to be an expert at the terminal to be able to use Elasticsearch effectively. To run Elasticsearch on your machine, you need to have at least Java version 8. So we need to install a software called Homebrew that will allow us to quickly and easily install Java 8 on our computer. Now, you may already have Homebrew installed on your machine, but if you don't, these are the instructions on the brew.sh website. You just copy this entire command and in your terminal, just paste it and then just hit enter. And it's going to ask us to press the return key again. And now we give the administrator password. And there you go, it's downloading and installing Homebrew. Now I just did this right before this lesson. So for the most part, everything was already downloaded. It's going to show installation successfully within a minute. But for you, it may take a little longer if you haven't, if this is the first time you're downloading Homebrew, it's going to take you some time. So just be patient. All right, so I'm going to use this command a lot called clear. Okay, you should be familiar with this. If you're not, that's okay. We're learning about it right now. Just type clear to clear the screen. Okay. The next thing we need to install is this brew install wget. Okay, we're going to use brew to install wget. So let's do that. And it's saying, wget is already installed on my machine. For you, if it's not, just follow the instructions and get that installed. We may need it later on in the course, okay? So now that we have brew, we're going to move on to installing Java 8. So to do that, all we need to do is brew cask install Java, okay? And just hit enter. And it's saying that the cask for Java is already installed. So I already have Java on my machine, but just for you guys, I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to type in brew cask reinstall Java. Okay. So just copy that and paste it here, hit enter. And now it's going to reinstall Java on this machine. It's asking for the administrator password. So let me enter that again. And it's going to go ahead and, it's uninstalling the previous Java installation that I had. And it's basically re-downloading it and reinstalling it on this machine. This shouldn't take too long, maybe a minute or two, depending on your internet speed. So there we go. We've installed Java successfully. This is the sentence that you should be looking for. Java was installed successfully. Just type in clear to clear the screen. So now we have all of the prerequisites needed to run Elasticsearch on this machine. So now let's download Elasticsearch. For that, we're going to go to the website where you can download it. It's elastic.co/downloads. This is the link we're going to click on. And we're also going to be downloading Kibana in just a minute. So let's click on download Elastic. And we're going to download this file right here, the tar file. So let's click there. And it's going to ask us where do we want it. I'm going to install it into my home directory, which is imtiazamod, and I'm just going to hit save. And then let's go back. Let's also download Kibana. So click on download, go down to this Mac link, click there, and now it's going to ask us where do we want it. I want it in imtiazamod folder, my home directory, where we downloaded Elasticsearch. So same place, hit save, and it's downloading Kibana. All right, so we're done downloading both of those files. Let's open up our folder. This is the home directory. I've downloaded Elastic and I've downloaded Kibana. So let's double click Elastic and it's going to extract that folder right here. And let's double click Kibana and it's going to extract Kibana in the same directory. And we don't need these download versions anymore, so I'm just going to delete them. Okay, these are the folders that we actually need. And just to keep things simple, I'm going to rename them. I'm going to call this Elasticsearch. And for Kibana, I'm going to rename this to just Kibana. Now to start Elasticsearch, we need to go to the command prompt. Let's navigate over. By the way, this is an ls command to list the directories for those of you that are not aware. I'm listing the directories or files in this folder called imtiazamod. Now in here I have the Elasticsearch folder, so let's cd change directory and go to that folder. Now I'm inside of Elasticsearch, type in ls to see the files, and I'm going to execute the following command, bin/Elasticsearch, and just hit enter, and this will start our Elasticsearch cluster. And these directions are actually on the website. Let's go back to the Elasticsearch page. If you scroll down, it gives us the instructions on how to kickstart Elasticsearch. If we're on the Mac or some Linux-based system, we use bin/Elasticsearch. And if we are on Windows, we use bin/Elasticsearch.bat. Okay, this file also exists. So let's go back to the terminal and you'll see that stuff has happened. Okay, it's basically just logging to the screen that Elasticsearch has started. And now to verify that Elasticsearch is running, we're going to copy and paste this command. We can't use this window anymore. Just leave this running in the background. Okay. We're going to open a new command prompt window. So shell new window. And this is the command that we need to type in, curl with this particular URL. So let's hit enter. And there we go. We got a response. This response, right? This response is coming from this Elasticsearch cluster that we kicked off. Okay. We sent this request, and you can actually put this request in your browser and you'll get a response from Elasticsearch. Okay, the same exact response that you saw in the command line, we're getting that in the browser as well. Okay, this is just to verify that Elasticsearch is working, and it gives a version which is 5.4 at the time of this recording. All right, so we're all set, ready to go with Elasticsearch. The next thing we're gonna do, let's go back. We're gonna kickstart Kibana. Okay. And it gives the instructions on how to do that. We have to change this configuration file in the Kibana folder we just downloaded. So let's go there. This is the folder, Kibana. So before we kick Kibana off, we need to go to the config folder, as it's explaining here on the download instructions. And we need to set the Elasticsearch URL to point to the Elasticsearch instance. So all we have to do is edit this file. You can open it with I'm using this text editor called Sublime. You can choose to use whatever text editor you want. So let's open that up, and this is that file. So this elasticsearch.url, right, this line, we're just gonna uncomment that by getting rid of the pound sign there. Okay, so let's close this file. Make sure you saved it before closing it. And now let's kickstart Kibana. So over here, the instructions are we need to bin/Kibana if we're on the Mac or Linux. And for Windows, we use kibana.bat. Okay, so let's go back to the command prompt. I'm going to clear the screen here, and let's do an ls. We are in the home directory here. Let's navigate over to Kibana, cd Kibana, and we're going to kickstart Kibana by running that command, bin/Kibana, just like that, and hit enter. And in just a few moments, it should kickstart our Kibana. And there you go. It's running. It's saying server running at this URL. So we could just copy this localhost 5601, and we can show that in our browser. Let's paste that here. And there we go. It's loading Kibana in our browser. And this is actually a data visualization tool. So instead of just working with Elasticsearch in the command prompt, as we were doing before when I entered that curl command, we can use this really nice user interface right in the browser to send and receive commands from Elastic. So in this Dev Tools tab, this is a sample query that they inserted for us, okay? And you may see a different screen, but basically it's just a sample. There's just some sample text there. Just hit play and notice that it gives us a response. Okay, so Elasticsearch is responding to this query. Now this is some complicated query syntax. You might be wondering, what is this? Don't worry, we're going to go over this in great detail. That's a big part of this course, is for you to thoroughly understand the Elasticsearch query DSL. And that's what this is, this command that we're sending to the Elasticsearch cluster. And then this response, we're going to go in great detail over on how exactly to interpret this. All right, there we have it. We've set up Elasticsearch and we've set up Kibana. you are ready to get your hands dirty in the remainder of this course. So I'm going to wrap up this lesson here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.